did not pick this movie.
It was my choice.
I knew we had to do something for Halloween. I wasn't sure what. I was like, I don't know. Ben watches more horror movies. Let's throw it in his court and see what he does and picks and says. And then he goes, let's do Jason X. I'm like, what are you talking about, man?
It's one of the funnest Jason movies, easily.
Is it really? See, I haven't seen enough of them. I haven't seen enough of them.
Which ones have you seen?
That's a really great question, because what would happen is I would see bits and pieces of them on AMC toward Halloween after I got out of school.
So you haven't watched a full Jason movie?
I don't think I've ever watched one beginning to end. Even rarer, I don't think I've ever really watched any that weren't edited for TV.
One of the tropes of this franchise is that pretty much almost all of them have been edited down. Like 7 is a good one. Like Friday the 13th Part 7 is notorious for being edited down because they chopped out all the parts that they worked hard on.
I have actually seen one horror movie that went to space. My sister and I, a long, long time ago, Leprechaun.
Oh, wow.
As far as a horror movie goes, or a slasher, I should say, because some horror I really like, I'm not huge on slashers. I can appreciate a lot of the artistry on display. For being a Friday the 13th movie, for being a slasher, the violence in this movie is remarkably tame.
Yeah, like I said, it was edited down. A lot of the this franchise is known for them going for the studio kind of cutting out all the fun slasher moments.
There was really only one kill that I'm like, oh, that was very gross. The movie opens with like an immediate smash cut to hell. I'm assuming it's because the movie before this was Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, that's why.
I don't know how far into the future the intro of this movie takes place, but it takes place far enough that I don't know if it's in lieu of Camp Crystal Lake or perhaps simply in the same community as Crystal Lake. There is the Crystal Lake Research Facility.
Again, that's not entirely strange because in the beginning of the 9th one, they kind of show you that they're onto the whole Crystal Lake thing.
They have Jason like chained up in an underground Crystal Lake Research Facility, and for some reason, in a character blueprint that would eventually become Vincent D'Onofrio in Jurassic World 1, there's a guy who's like, we must study Jason for his regenerative X-Men Wolverine powers. We must figure out how to harness his abilities. He's too valuable to just let him die.
Yeah, well, I had to go over your head.
Not just any guy, but it's pretty fitting that last time we did a David Cronenberg film, and now the guy that you're talking about is played by David Cronenberg.
I think the IMDb factoid that blew me away the most after watching this movie, especially just putting like this intro into that contextual limelight, New Line loved the script so much that they tripled the budget from the previously most expensive installment in this franchise. Jason Takes Manhattan. Pumping the budget up by 3 times still wasn't enough. They had to like rewrite the script around budgetary limitations, even still. We need his powers. I don't know, for military, for this. By the way, he's bisexual.
By the way, I'm bisexual. I forgot to announce.
This one soldier or something, this one guy he's talking with. Has Jason ever said a word in the entire franchise? You would know better than I would. No, never. Okay. And also the Jason in this movie is Kane Hodder. Was he the original?
He's kind of like the fan favorite. There's been a few. He's not the original, no. The first 4 movies, I believe, had a different person, and I think Kane Hodder came after that.
There's a woman in this research facility who's like, Jason is dangerous. He's this, he's that. We can't keep him around. And the guy's like, we need him for research purposes. And what ends up happening is he breaks out of his confinement and kills that one soldier dude.
He kills all the soldiers.
It turns into this little cat and mouse game where the gal is hunting Jason in a room and she traps him in like a cryo containment chamber, and he stabs through the door of the chamber and it hits her, and instead of just that cryo chamber freezing them and putting them both to sleep, it turns the entire room into a cryo chamber, which I don't think would actually work, but all right, we'll roll with it. Comically large amount of time lapses.
I don't think they say.
between
Because I
then
remember,
and
I
now.
remember thinking that was strange that they don't say what the year is.
I think they do. I think at some point they do actually tell her what year it is after she wakes up from her coma. And
Oh, okay.
man, pick a horror movie victim archetype. And they are now in the movie.
In the form of some space pirates that roll in and find their bodies.
One of which, there's the sequence where they find Jason frozen, then they find this woman who was stabbed by him. They don't know what happened. They don't know he's the killer, this, that, or the other. So when he's frozen and they open the chamber to reveal that he's still there, he's there with like his machete up while he's frozen. Like in a...
Yeah, which doesn't make sense,
Like-
but...
It's like he decided, well, I guess I better look badass if I'm going to be stuck here for who knows how long. As they are trying to get him moved without damaging his body, he falls over.
It's just a casual dismemberment, no big deal.
I don't know if there's a machete on the face of the earth that is sharp enough to do that. But it takes off the guy's arm, and they give him pills, and it like slowly grows his arm back because we're in the future. They're like analyzing his body. They don't know what a hockey mask is at one point. They're like, what is this?
What's a hockey mask?
Facial armor. Used in a sport outlawed in 2024.
I'm trying to figure out how funny it is, the way in which this movie dates itself. I don't know how tongue-in-cheek it is when New Line Cinema reads this script and goes, triple the budget.
It's sort of like a spoof of itself in many ways. Should we address the horniness?
Oh, yeah, we will. They find the gal. They get to work on fixing her body. There's like these nanites in the future.
Yeah, they have nanotechnology that like heals people. They
Yeah,
heal
they're
the
like
guy's arm
micro robots. They will find organic material, salvage it, and like use it on your body to repair you. And in the event that there is no inorganic material in the nearby vicinity, it will do whatever it can with inorganic material. Then they bring them back to the ship in the future and start to like slowly thaw them out. And for some reason, as this is happening, a decent amount of the crew on this ship just starts getting super horny. This just seems to do something for them.
'Cause- so you know that his motivation is to kill horny teens. You at least know that.
Yeah, I do. And
Okay.
isn't it because he drowned in a lake because his camp counselors were screwing in the woods somewhere or something? Isn't
Correct.
that how it goes?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
So now he just has it out for sex.
Yeah.
As people start to think, sex would be fun right now, he starts waking up. Like there's even
Yeah.
cuts from like people making out in one of their rooms to like his hand twitching and starting to wake up. At one point, a couple even starts getting into foreplay at the cryo table as they're thawing him out. Just like right there, right in front of his thawing body. People start talking about how big this is going to be. We're going to be rich, this, that, and the other. Like every little bit of dialogue you can think of as they're thawing out this body just starts rolling out of people's mouths. And then one of the ladies tries to like saw his mask off. And then we meet a character who, I don't know, maybe he would fall into the archetype of nerd, but he might even go a little bit beyond and aside from nerd. Because he's built an android that everybody on the ship insists he wants to bang. And he's like, I don't want to bang the android that I built. By the end of this movie, he absolutely wants to bang this android he's built. No doubt. This android is envious of women who have breasts. And so she's in this random insert scene that was unnecessary to the movie, but very typical of its genre. The android is just topless, and the creator is just standing there going like, just looking at him. And she's like, I would like to improve them. And he's like, yeah, what can we do about these breasts? And as they're pondering how they can improve android breasts, her nipples slide off of her chest and fall on the floor. This is it, triple the budget. One of the couples who start going crazy in their rooms seem to have a student-teacher dynamic.
You pass!
It's kind of icky. She walks into his room with what I thought was something to open the wine bottle she was carrying, but she uses
kink
it as a
shame, too.
nipple clamp and just absolutely massacres this guy's nipples. And finally, he sits all the way up. It's funny because when he has these little jolts, she looks over and she's like, huh? And he just stays there. Like, must have been the wind. And then when he finally does sit all the way up and get off the table and fully disappear, apparently he made absolutely no noise and she didn't notice it at all. Which, I mean, immediately this leads us to probably the most infamous kill of the movie, and to what I'm aware of, I think this is regarded as one of the most infamous kills in the franchise. In the room, there's a sink, and the room she's in is like soundproof, which adds what I thought is like a pretty decent layer of dread to the scene. He grabs this woman by like the back of her neck or something, and he's like tossing her around the room, and the room is soundproof. He finally just grabs her by the back of the neck and shoves her face into the sink. And it freezes her face, and he smashes it on the table to kill her. It's easily the grossest kill of the movie. Every other kill in this movie is far tamer by comparison. It's funky to me that they went with a kill this visceral, this graphic, this disturbing, and then for the rest of the movie, they were like, all right, and everything else will be like, we honestly don't want to trim this down for the Sci-Fi Channel 9 p.m. premiere edit. So we're just gonna like kind of leave it as is. And right away, everybody does the thing. They're like, oh, we should cover more ground. Let's split up. My notes are a little confusing to me, which is weird because considering how basic this movie is, my notes are confusing to me because I don't remember anybody's names. I literally just have notes that say he dies, she dies, they die, they split up, they this, they that.
Their names don't matter, dude.
At this point, my notes just kind of devolve into the movie you think this is. I have notes that say, couple splits in order to follow orders. Door opens. He dies. Sneaking around. Random monsters? At one point, people are in like a VR simulation and there's these random monsters in there that they're trying to take out. And then when they take their goggles off, Jason is there and they're like, oh, that's weird. The VR, the holodeck, my Oculus Rift is malfunctioning. He's not supposed to be here. And then he actually starts hurting them and killing them. And they're like, oh my God.
I like that there's a holodeck in a Jason film. Why not?
Yep. At one point, I think one of the kills that was the goofiest to me was Jason punches a guy and the guy falls onto, spins around.
Yeah.
The body spins. Oh my God, triple the budget. Some kills aren't even seen. I do remember at some point during this, he finds his old machete. Like, he improvises, finds weapons of the future. Why does he kill people who are not horny? What's the lore for that?
Sometimes he kills people if they're just in his way. So like when he gets his machete, he just kills Dr. Lowe just because he's there.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back.
Or Dr. Lowe or Professor Lowe did have sex earlier, remember, with what's her name? With the whole nipple play. So
yeah.
Maybe he smelled it on him like a bloodhound and was
he
like...
He smelled it? That's so disturbing to think about. My next note is that the guy finally makes out with his android that he insists he does not want to have sex with. And the android lady decides that she will fight. She will fight Jason. My notes are just a complete cluster. So's the movie. Well, my next note is that at some point someone mentions there was the Microsoft conflict, and it caused untold damage.
You're lucky you weren't alive during the Microsoft conflict. Hell, we were beating each other with our own severed limbs.
Oh yeah, the guy with the cowboy hat.
No, actually, they're actually two different people.
Oh, are they two different people?
They seem like they should be the same character because it reminds me of Danny McBride in Alien Covenant.
Okay,
where he's just like he just has a mustache and he's like his name is Tallahassee or Dallas or something. You know,
of course it is. Of course it is.
And it's like I feel like I wonder if Ridley Scott watched this film in preparation for Alien Covenant.
That would be really funny to think about, considering how highbrow philosophical he was aiming for Alien Covenant to be. That he was like, in preparation for my movie on the musings of mankind and what it is to be human and what it is to create. Could you pop in the DVD of Jason X for me, please?
I enjoy this movie more than Alien Covenant, though.
I suppose if there was a great Microsoft conflict that caused untold amounts of damage, I would be in some trouble, as I'm not terribly far from the Microsoft facilities up here in the Pacific Northwest. Apparently, there's a character named Kinsa. Kinsa dies. That's my note. Kinsa tries to leave and dies. Oh, she's the one who tries to fly the ship away. That's who that is. That's the gal who she gets in, like, the ejection pod or the ejection emergency ship to try to get away. And they're all like, you gotta open the door. You gotta let us in, you know? And she's like, I don't want to open the door. I don't want to die. So she attempts to leave. Might have been the funniest death in the movie, and Jason had nothing to do with it. Professor Nerd and his Dommy Mommy robot comes out all leathered up to fight Jason. What do you want to say about this scene, man?
I mean, no, it's just this. From here on, the whole movie is just fun, you know, just like crazy, wacky hijinks. I like the idea that the robot fights Jason. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, they fight a couple of times. Because really, there's nobody else on board who stands a chance. I think it says more about the android's creator that she comes out in Dommy Mommy attire than anyone else. That he just had that on standby, ready to go for such an occasion. I don't think the occasion was going to be combat. Why did I write giddy up punch? At some point, there's a hole in the ship, and the ship's gonna implode. One of the gals gets sucked out of the ship through, like, a piece of metal grating covers the hole in the ship.
Oh, this sucks on so many levels!
They show none of that. They show her. They show everyone else being like, no! And then it cuts back to the grate, and there's just some blood on it. It's just implied that she got sucked out of it. Anyway, Robot Lady beats the tar out of Jason, and she punches him onto an operating table or something that just breaks in half under him, and then they all leave. But for some reason, via magic or via sensors on the table, it detects that there's a body on it, and the nanites get to work. And they can't find organic material to salvage Jason's body.
And then they give Jason a cool new mask.
So they don't give Jason an organic new body. They give Jason a inorganic metal hockey mask and, like, metal pecs.
Because it's in space, Tim. You gotta hammer home that it's in space.
So after he makes his grand entrance for round 2 with the android, he punches its head off.
You guys might want to run.
There's, like, one guy in this movie. He is, like, tall, stoic black soldier man who feels like he's one of the only ones he's like the only human you feel like might be able to stand a chance against Jason. And
yeah,
so,
Peter Mensa. He was in 300.
Oh, maybe that's what I recognize him from then.
That's what I recognize him from.
Okay.
Yeah. He's been in some other stuff too. You might have recognized him from, like, cop shows and other stuff.
We're gonna eject on another ship, and we're just gonna rig this ship to blow. And so he stays behind to, like, keep Jason on the ship, I think, if I remember correctly. Eventually, as the ship is about to blow and the survivors are trying to get away, they set it up so that, like, Jason and Soldier Guy are walking towards each other, so that right before they're about to, I don't know, headbutt each other, go in for a hug, the ship explodes. They're still alive. And they fight in space. I guess it's after that there's the whole thing where Jason... Oh, that's how there's a hole in the ship. Jason punches a hole into the ship. Question for you, because again, I don't know the lore. So Jason's, like, completely fine in environments with no oxygen? Is that lore accurate?
It's tough to say, because he is someone who can't really die, so it is tough to say.
Because I know he's come back from, like, being buried underground. He's been, like, I don't know, drowned, shot, electrocuted, stabbed, all the things. Punches a hole into the ship. That's when the gal gets sucked out. So he gets back in the ship, will use VR to distract him. And he doesn't have, like, a headset on or anything like that. So they put him in, like, a VR of Crystal Lake. Like, they put him back to what they
Yeah, to what he knows.
So is this reality painted by what he knows, or did they create this reality?
No clue. I think they created it.
Okay.
Because I'm like, how would they... I don't know, because how would they know, you know?
Don't know. So they set him up there, and there are these two gals who see him.
Hey, you want a beer?
Or do you want to smoke some pot?
Or we can have premarital sex.
Who are the typical victims from his previous movie. And of course, because we're painfully aware of what this movie is, they take their tops off, because that's what the movie is.
We love premarital sex.
It's the perfect bait for Jason. I like that he wraps him in the sleeping bag and whacks him against the tree.
If you want Jason to kill you, show him your boobs.
He's done that kill in 2 other films, I think. I think he did that in 7 and in the remake.
Okay, so that's when they walk into each other and everything explodes. That doesn't kill them. The ship exploding with Soldier Man and Jason doesn't kill either of them, and they fight in space. And as they're fighting in space, they start falling towards a planet. And
the shoulder guy uses Jason.
Soldier guy uses Jason.
Soldier
Man
Jason as a shield.
Because at some point I'm like, oh, they're just gonna burn in the atmosphere. Well, Soldier Man's aware of this, uses Jason as a shield, and they start to burn up in the atmosphere. It's something else. And then we cut down to Earth 2, where there's a horny couple looking up at the sky together while they're hanging out at a lake, and they're like, a shooting star, make a wish, and that's how the movie ends.
Yeah, I love that it implies that he made it all the way back to Crystal Lake, so that
on Earth 2, like on
again,
Earth 2. So it's
on
like
Earth
it's a
2,
new
yeah.
Crystal Lake, I suppose.
Earth 2 Crystal Lake. Yeah.
I remember the trailers for this movie because it used drowning pools, let the bodies hit the floor.
You guys might want to run.
Yeah, and they never used it.
And they never use it in the movie.
Yeah,
and they
bummer.
don't even use it in the credits. I actually let the credits roll just to see if it would come up. It never did.
What a waste.
This movie is so short.
These are usually pretty short.
I need your pitch. I need you to pitch to me why this is an underrated gem.
Because it's so much fun and crazy and stupid, and it's just like it's just a fun time. Like get your best friends together, sit on the couch, yell at the TV, like
okay,
you know, comment about how stupid it is, like, and just have fun. It's a fun, like, popcorn eating, you know, throw it at the TV, like, it's just a fun time.
There were moments I had fun. I don't know if I would say
Yeah.
I had fun the whole movie, but there were moments I had fun.
When we decided to do it, I remember thinking we should have just watched it together because it's so much more fun.
Yeah,
with people.
I maybe that would I can see how that would enhance the experience for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm still mystified by someone reading the script and being like, triplet, maybe. Okay, the budget was estimated for $11 million, and the gross in the US and Canada was only 13.1. The worldwide gross was only 17.
This movie made a lot of money with their DVD sales, though, if you could believe that.
I know the franchise got rebooted in 2009. Does that mean that this was the finale of the original run of the franchise?
Yes, correct.
All right.
Here's the thing, though: when you make stuff like this, they never know if it's going to be the last or not. There's not a whole lot of planning put, especially not in this franchise. There's not a whole lot of planning put in place, which is a shame.
What is your favorite movie in this franchise?
Oh man, that's a tough question. My favorite movie in this franchise is probably Freddy vs. Jason because it's so good. If we're not counting Freddy vs. Jason, probably 6. 2 or 6, maybe. A lot of people think 4 is the best one also.
If you go on IMDb, look up Jason X and just read the movie quotes, you can tell what kind of movie this is just straight from that. Even the very first one, Brodsky, that's Soldier Man's name.
Yeah.
He gets stabbed by Jason at one point and he goes, "It's gonna take more than a poke of the ribs to put down this old dog." So Jason just stabs him a second time and he goes,
Yeah, that ought to do it.
Classic. I think you would have appreciated this a lot more if you watched a bunch of the other ones beforehand, because they're all like, none of them are really like good necessarily.
See, okay,
I mean,
here's
6 is pretty good.
Here's my general question about this movie, because who is this movie for?
This is for Jason fans, because keep in mind this is.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is, because this is the 10th installment in the franchise. At this point, we've seen the Crystal Lake thing so many times that at this point they're trying to switch things up.
I feel
The
like that's
sixth
like
one
saying
is
Jaws
when Jason
4 is for
returns.
Jaws fans.
What do you mean?
Because the thing that makes Jaws Jaws is not in Jaws 4. And I feel like the thing that makes Friday the 13th, I feel like the things that make it are not in this movie. I feel like it doesn't have the same sense of dread. It doesn't have the same sense of suspense. It doesn't even truly
You have no idea what you're talking about.
You feel like this fits in with the rest of the franchise?
Absolutely, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising to me.
Okay, you haven't seen the other movies. What the do you know, dude?
Okay, but the bits and pieces I have seen were certainly more frightening and intense than this.
Yeah, like I said, this is them. Like I was trying to finish what I was saying earlier, but like,
all right, I'm sorry.
It's fine. They were fine. Like, okay, you had all these movies that all kind of did the same thing, and then they started to try to switch things up. In 6, they started to switch stuff up with him resurrecting, and then 7 they switched stuff up with bringing like telekinesis in there, and like there was like it was him against a girl with telekinesis. It was kind of interesting, and then they tried to move locations in the 8th and 9th one, and in this one they're like, let's do space. Like you said, Leprechaun did space a couple of years before. So it's just them playing with the franchise. It's them playing with what's already been done by like mixing it around a little bit, adding different ingredients.
One of the best lines in the movie, it's when they're talking about prepping the cryostasis chamber.
I don't want them frozen, Rowan. I want them soft.
Triple the budget! Triple the budget!
I would love for them to make another movie, because at this point, if you include Freddy vs. Jason, there have been 12 movies. So all they'd have to do is just do a movie called 13. I would love it to be like a bunch of the final girls that like made it, and just have them all like team up and take out Jason. That'd be awesome.
See, the bummer about that is some of them would probably have to die. Like,
yeah.
They've been through so much to outlive the greatest killing force that the world has ever known in this narrative universe, just to get casually axed in a team-up movie. Like, in some ways, that's kind of a bummer.
It's a horror franchise, man.
One of the first impressions I had of this movie from someone who saw it was my cousin Michael. We must have been in the theater to see, maybe it was Lord of the Rings. It might have been when we went to go see The Two Towers. There was just movie trivia on the screen before the trailer started playing. The trivia question was about Jason X. My cousin did not give a out loud in the movie theater. All of us are all the way in the back, and he just goes, "Boo! Bad movie!" I think you're right. I probably watched this movie wrong by watching it alone. It's such a confusing movie to me, because obviously it's not a good movie, and it's certainly not the best movie in its franchise, for sure.
It is fun, though.
I do still have some confusion about who this movie's for.
For Jason fans.
I feel like it's so detached from its roots.
Sort of, but not that much.
The spirit of killing horny people is intact.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Every Jason movie is just that.
What is it about this horror franchise that because you have a Jason mask like in your office space there. You are a fan of this franchise, but what is it about it you like?
I guess if you don't get it, you don't get it. Like I understand that it is silly.
Oh, don't be artiste with me about Friday the 13th.
I know.
You will never understand the pure artistry on display with the Friday the 13th.
I didn't say it was artistry. You said that. Don't put words in my mouth. It's an acquired taste, I guess, because I
an acquired taste means
stupid.
you have to work hard to enjoy it. That's what that means.
It's a guilty pleasure, then. Well,
okay, that makes more
guilty
sense.
Pleasure. It is absolutely, it's a guilty pleasure. Is it? Of course, it's stupid. Of course, it is. But it's a guilty pleasure because they're all dumb. They're all very dumb. But I just like the concept. I don't know why. I just really like it.
When someone hands me a drink and says, "Here, try this," but it's an acquired taste, I'll take the glass and I'm like, so this is not going to be good then.
I think guilty pleasure is the perfect term for it.
That's fair. And I don't even know if I'd call it guilty pleasure. Like, I went to the theater to go see The Room for its 20th anniversary. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had in the theater. Like, I do like bad movies. I do really like bad movies. And I believe bad movies can be a great guiding post for filmmakers. So it has a 25 on Metacritic.
If you have a bunch of friends and you want to watch a dumb sci-fi movie with tits and killing and slashing, and it's just, you just want to make fun of a movie. This is a good movie for that. Good party movie to make fun of.
This movie is a ride of sorts. I agree. Watch it with friends. Don't watch it alone. Unless you can get a kick out of watching bad movies alone, then go for it. I usually need at least one other person to watch it with me for me to, like, contextualize the craziness. What are we doing next? I don't know.
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea what we're doing next.
Come back next time for, I don't know, Titan AE. Come back next time for Titan AE.
Yeah, let's do Titan AE.
Let's do Titan
That's a good
AE. You picked this. I'm picking that.
It's a good movie. It's a good pick.
All right, I'm hitting my stop buttons.
Lose my head to the chemical freeway.